What is up, guys? It is your boy Little Man J coming to you with another video, and today we got the iPhone XR. So now we're gonna see if the iPhone XR is still good, because we've all seen the reviews of these things back in 2018, just like how I mentioned. So now we're gonna try if we can still use this thing. So y'all know my usual disclaimer that goes, you cannot, wait, well, how does my usual disclaimer go? Okay, y'all know, if you've been watching my reviews for a while, that this has been opened before, but for the sake of the video, we're gonna open it again. So let's just start that out. Come on. There we go. It's the usual iPhone packaging with the usual nonsense on the back, which I don't think y'all can see because of this light, but like, it's not really not important. But yeah, then you open it up and there it is. And in case you didn't from this, the iPhone that I have here right now is red. So let's check it out. There it is, guys. Beautiful phone with a beautiful color. Fun fact, I originally got a white one, but that one gave me problems, so I took it back and got red, which is one of my favorite colors. So I know for a fact that this is not gonna let me down. So yeah, right off the bat, the phone is looking nice. It's looking clean. It has a really cool design. It got that Apple on the back, so you know it's legit. It has my fingerprint because, like I mentioned, it has been opened, the box. So yeah, before I drop this thing and drop a lot of money, let me put a pouch on it. Nope. I am so sorry for showing you that. Those two colors do not go together at all. Just tuck this off into the distance and give it something more. Wait, okay. Ignore that. Give it something more of its taste. And somehow we can just like turn it on. So yeah, let's get in with if the iPhone XR is still good. So right off the bat, you can see the design of the phone is pretty nice. It's pretty simple. It's average size and it's pretty cool. It fits in your palm quite nicely, which is one thing that I really like about phones. I don't like phones that are bombastically huge and that won't fit in your hand comfortably. That's not nice to hold. Maybe for you it is, but for me personally it's not. So this phone does pretty well in the hand size category. Sure, I would have hoped for an iPhone, like if, let's say in the gifting category, if they were to gift you this phone for your birthday, for Christmas, any of the sort that are gifting you this phone, maybe you passed, this phone is a really cool gift to receive. Sure, it looks very nice. It would have looked better with two cameras. It has one camera, so I can't praise it all there, but it is still a very, really nice phone to have in 2024. Plus the fact that it keeps the original, not original, because most, like, iPhone has changed this notch over here into, like, why do they call it a dynamic island, the one that's alive. So this one has an older version, but it is still on par. It has a similar design to your iPhone 12s, iPhone X, iPhone 11, 12, and 13. Yeah, 14 is one of the dynamic island, but yeah, it still has a really modern design. And when it comes to the upgradability, or maybe not, let me not say upgradability, more updatability. This phone is running the latest iOS. If you don't know what that is, it's basically the software. It is using iOS version 17.21, which is the same version on your iPhone 15s, all the way like 5 generations before on the iPhone XR. So the iPhone XR is still good, other than iPhones like the iPhone 7 and below, which are not using iPhone version 17.21, and it's having problems with things like WhatsApp and all of those other apps. But this phone does not have that, because this phone is up to date with the current thingies that iPhone is doing. You have to utilize this little thingy that iPhone added. Like, I honestly don't know what this is called to this day, but like older iPhone models don't have this, that I know. So now you can utilize this as a 17.21 user. So basically, it feels like a modern iPhone. you can say it is still a modern iPhone because it's not that outdated when it comes to technology and everything, because iPhone is keeping it updated. So it's really good. Although if you are an iPhone 12, no, let me not say 12, if you're an iPhone 13 user and you're using the iPhone XR, sure, you will feel that it's a bit slower than your usual phone. It's a bit slower, but it is still a very good phone as a first time iPhone use, or if you want using things like the iPhone 13 that have haptic feedback, because that's something they added on the 13. So if you're not a 13 user coming to this phone, you will still find it as a very fast, very reactive phone. This phone was released in 2018, and I've seen when I was doing research for these videos, people who bought it all the way in 2018. Your rich people that be buying the phone same year it's released. They don't wait for us, they don't wait like us for it to go down. They buy same year. So there are people who buy them same year, and people have reported that after six years, this phone is still on 85% battery health. So that is really good on the phone. Mine is still, the one I have here is still on 100% battery health. As you can see here, it is still on 100% battery health. Don't mind that. It's still on 100% battery health, so that's pretty good, man. The fact that you can still get it brand new in 2023 in 2024 after 6 whole years of it being out is still amazing, because 100% battery health iPhone XR, it's rare, but they still make them new. You can still buy at Apple Store, so that's pretty good. So out of all, I would say that this phone is still very much usable in 2024. I've reviewed the iPhone 14 if it's still usable in 2024. I said it was, although it's not perfect because it's having problems. I reviewed the iPhone 15 without actually having the iPhone 15, but I talked about it and said that it's whack. I talked about the iPhone 13, which has the best rated if it's still usable now, because that phone was... I don't know what Apple did with the others, with the 14 and the 15, because they kind of downgraded a little bit. So yeah, all in all, this phone is still usable in 2024. After 6 years, it is still a great phone for you to buy, a great backup phone, a great first iPhone, and a great budget phone, if you like that rich to call it a budget phone. But yeah. So, today I have for you something that you have not seen before. This is the iPhone 12 Pro Max, more specifically the box of the iPhone 12 Pro Max. And in this video, we're going to be taking a trip back to memory lane. And to be more specific, I'm talking about back to Apple's prime memory lane. Because in today's videos, in today's generation, Apple is Apple. Sure, Apple will forever be great, and we will forever love Apple. But whenever they pump out new phones, they don't really have anything special, anything new, anything different to add. You're basically just buying the exact same phone with, oh no, it has a longer battery, or oh no, it has that, or oh no, this, right? They don't really have anything really giving to say that, oh my gosh, the brand new Apple is out and I'm going to go buy it, except for the fact that it has a different number. But back when we were still on the time of the iPhone 13 Pro Max, which is iPhone's best to ever do it, they were on a roll. They were on a generational run, an incredible run, a 10 out of 10 phenomenal run. So in today's video, I thought we should take a trip back because the iPhone 17 is dropping a bit later this year. So I wanted to take a trip back. So let me not hold you, let me not waste any more of your time. Let's first unbox the 12 Pro Max. Starting off with the front. First, not technically the front of the box to be more specific. This was one of the iPhones that had the whole wallpaper thingy going on here on the front, which was later removed along with the iPhone 13 Pro Max. But when they realized that people didn't really like that, they returned it back with the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Same way they had the whole moon going on in the iPhone XR, and I'm not quite sure what they had going on the iPhone 11, but I assume it followed a similar pattern. The box is super simple, super clean. I also wanted to add that this was one of the first ones to introduce this whole slim box thingy, where it basically showed that they weren't giving us anything. Because if you guys go watch my iPhone XR unboxing video, it came with a whole lot of stuff like the charging brick, the charging port, even the wired earphones, right? But these iPhones are one of those ones that came with absolutely nothing. They just had the charging port and the phone that you paid for. Basically it. But let me get these other ones out of their way. They've had their spotlight. It's time for us to open the phone. But yeah, all that aside, it's time for us to finally open and reveal the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Oh, this is also one of the last iPhones to have that satisfying peel.
Now, disclaimer, this phone has been opened before, but for the purpose of this video, we are going to be opening it again. So here the phone is in all its glory, and here it is from the back. This phone comes in white and it's looking super duper clean. Okay, so the iPhone 12 Pro Max has its own special pouch. So as you can see, this is the pouch meant for the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and it fits perfectly well for the iPhone 12 Pro Max. But let's see what happens when you open the phone. So a sad thing that I want to add about the iPhone 12 Pro Max is that this phone does not have haptic feedback. If you don't know what haptic feedback is, it's basically like your phone is super responsive and glides super easy. Of course, this phone is super responsive, glides perfectly, and it does have a bit of a delay if you notice it right now, but it's not really a train smash on a regular iPhone user. It's not even really something that people with iPhone 13s, 14s, 15s, 16s, heck, even 17s when they come out are even going to notice. It's just something that iPhone likes to add when they're trying to sell their phones. Okay, so now we move on to the battery health and charging. The battery health on this phone is 99%, which sounds good, but if you consider the fact that this phone was opened just only a week ago, 99% is not really selling its case when it comes to the battery health. It's kind of I don't really want to say bad, but it's not good either for a phone that's only a week old to be moving on 99% battery health. It's depleting too fast, in other words. Really cool thing that I forgot to mention about these phones that my iPhone sadly does not do. My iPhone is the XR, by the way. My iPhone sadly just doesn't do, which these two phones do. I think it started from the 12, and it's this. Name drop. That has got to be the coolest thing ever. No, you cannot look me in the eye and tell me that is not sick. I met an iPhone user on the street, maybe fine shit walking around, and I'm saying, yo, Shadi, what's good? And then she's like, yeah, give me a number. None of us has to actually type out the number. We can just, and the sound it makes it so cool. Oh my days.
This is the iPhone 13 Pro Max. And if y'all have seen my recent video where I talk about the iPhone 14 Pro Max review after a year and whether it is still worth buying with the in 2023 with the iPhone 15 being out, and I'm gonna be honest, I basically pretty much trashed that phone. I'm not like hating on iPhone. The iPhone 14 didn't do anything to me. I was just being brutally honest. And in today's video, I'm gonna be brutally honest about this phone right here. And I was planning on doing the iPhone 13 Pro Max after 2 years. It's still worth buying. But I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be doing iPhone 13 Pro Max after 2 years, why you should buy it. Because this phone, after 2 years, it's still I would still go for it if I had money for an iPhone 15 and an iPhone 14. Not gonna lie, I would go for the 15. Cause if I had money for the iPhone 15 and 14 and 13, I would go for the 15 simply because it is a 15. But if we are saying the things that the phone offers and what we have seen so far, I would obviously go for the iPhone 13. Me personally, I feel like the iPhone 13 is the better phone, and I am going to be giving you my reasons right here. So now, without further ado, these are the top 5 reasons why you should still buy the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Reason number one, and this is something that the iPhone 14 failed horribly at, is the battery health or battery life, whatever you want to call it. You see, battery life is simply how long the phone's battery will last on full charge. This phone lasts a really long time, had it for 2 years, and you can still last you half the day from full charge, and you can still get home from work after working for 8 hours and still have it on a reasonable amount of battery, not on your 20s like we've been seeing recently on the iPhone 14. And battery health, battery life and battery health. So battery health is basically the overall health of the battery. So if you don't know, if you go to settings on your iPhone, where will I? Let me show you. Let me show you. Give me a minute. Just gotta open it. I found it. So if you go to your iPhone and you go to battery health, you will see that after 2 years, this iPhone specifically is still on. I'm not sure if 190, but then it's still on 87. The camera flipped it, but yeah, this is still on 87 after 2 years. And now what you're thinking, okay, sharp 87. No, yeah, it's not that big of a deal, but it is when you consider the fact that after 1 year, the iPhone 14 Pro Max was on 86. This shows you just how good this battery health is. So reason number one why you should still buy it in 2023 is because of the battery health. Oh, I can't say for sure about the iPhone 15 because it hasn't been out for more than 6 months, so we can't say for sure. But recently, as we have seen with the 14, the 13 is still better when it comes to overall battery health because I don't know what they did with the 14, but they flopped. I don't know, they flopped. But the battery health here is really good battery. But yeah, as I was trying to say, on the iPhone 13 Pro Max, not even the iPhone 13 Pro Max, we have gotten a way better camera on all models instead of just the Pros and the Pro Maxes and stuff like that. They have improved the cameras, meaning bigger bumps. Because if you have an iPhone, I don't know, should I say 11 or 12? And like, yeah, this is bigger. It has a bigger bump, and the chips have been like if you know, I'm not sure if you know, but iPhone doesn't go for the 128 megapixel, what a megapixel. Like this iPhone most likely has 13 megapixels, but what sets it aside from the rest, it's like the processor. Like it has a mega processor. Like that's what makes this picture so nice. Because in like with like around Samsung could have a phone that has 128 megapixels, but the software on the camera ain't that great. While iPhone has a 13 megapixels, but the best software out there. Well, one could argue that Samsung has better camera quality, but we all know that it's iPhone. Like you can see, everybody has their opinion. Oh, by the way, this is always so hard to do. This phone that I have right now is the gold edition. And that is fact number three. This phone right here, it was released with it looks white, but trust me, it is gold. Maybe check it from the side. But yeah, as I was saying, this phone, one of the many good things about it is because unlike the other iPhones, like the 14 and 15, which are released with their colors that they come in, this was released in different colors. I'm not gonna name the colors. I don't know the colors. I didn't cram the colors. I was just trying to buy an iPhone. But anyway, this phone was released in its colors, like the colors that were special to it. But to show that iPhone was putting a lot of effort into this phone, a while after it released, I don't know if it was 3 months, 6 months, I don't know. A while after it released, they released a whole new color. Like they didn't have to do that. The colors were already nice, but the fact that they put that much thought into it, even to like release a brand new color right after it was out, just shows like this phone, they put a lot more attention into this phone than the other phones so far. Cause then they released, I think, a new green color right here for the iPhones. That although the iPhone 13 just says green, and then the Pros say something more special. You know that though that fancy thing that people who are selling you stuff like to do, where this is black, but it's not black. It is glossy, champagne silver metal black, whatever the heck. I don't know, man. But yeah, it is the color. Also the fact that, so I really like the fact that they put much thought into this just to go back and release a new color without anybody complaining. Because normally if they're gonna release a new color, people will have to complain, no man, there's not enough colors on the iPhone 13 as they were last year or whatever. But nobody was complaining. Everybody was happy. Then they came and made you more happy, which was just one thing that I liked about this phone, or they were giving it attention. Now let's move over to fact number four. Okay, this one is specifically on the Pro models, and this phone was the very first phone. I'm sorry. This phone was the very first phone to get 120 100 what 120 megahertz adaptive refresh rate display. While I know that just sounds like some mumbo jumbo wara wara, but if you've held the iPhone 12 Pro Max and the iPhone 13 Pro, let me just okay. If you have held the iPhone 12 Pro Max and the iPhone 13 Pro Max and basically just do this, wada play with it, you will see what it is very different. Although YouTube is not obviously going to do it justice, but this phone reacts immediately to what you do. It doesn't lag like some other small cheap phones where you do this and then after a second it will do it. You're not it reacts immediately to what you are doing. It has a refresh display, 120 hertz refresh display. So that is really cool. It was one of the first phones to get that, which is the reason why you should still go for it, even though the iPhone 14 and 15 also have it. But the fact that this was one of the first phones to do that is also really cool, and I think that earns it a point in my books. Last and final thing, this phone won't just shatter if you Obviously, I'm not gonna do that with force because I'm not stupid. I'm not that rich. But this phone won't shatter if you just. And if you're wondering why that's important, I am looking at you, iPhone 15 Pro Max. That's right. You titanium liar. That's what you are. But anyway, overall, I feel like the iPhone 13 lineup was just an overall W for iPhone. This phone was the thing, and it still is the thing. And if I had the choice, I would still go for the 15 because it's a 15, and I like peer pressure, and I like to be thinking like I'm cool. But this phone overall is the phone, and if you are ever forced to buy it, don't worry because it is probably better than the 14s and the 15s that are walking on the street. Overall, I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out. This is the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Nope, I'm just kidding. It is actually the iPhone 14 Pro Max. But you would believe me if I didn't turn it on and show you this little dynamic island over here. It's funny to think that the only thing differentiating these two is that little dynamic island. But yes, if you're wondering why I'm starting off this video by talking about the iPhone 13 Pro Max and the iPhone 14 Pro Max differences, is because today we are going to be talking about the iPhone 14 Pro Max and whether it is still worth buying. Yeah, this is the phone right here itself, and as y'all know, the iPhone 15 recently just got released, and it is still the same. Nothing changed. Sure, they tell us that they put titanium, titanic, whatever the heck they put there, but there is no difference, bro. Every time the iPhone 14, iPhone 13, iPhone 12, iPhone 15, they all look the same. Like, Apple gotta switch it up. But anyway, complaining is not the point of this video either. Here is the iPhone 14, and now in this video we're going to be talking about whether it is still worth buying and what I feel about it. I'm going to be telling you what I like about it and what I don't like about it. Okay, so listen, one thing that I don't like about the 14 Pro Max, which I just don't get why, is this. Do you notice it? The cameras. There's something wrong with the cameras. And I know what you're thinking. What are you talking about, bro? There's nothing wrong with the cameras. Well, never mind these things that are on my mom's phone, like the cameras. These cameras are the exact same on the ones on the 13 Pro Max with the size and stuff. But they are a little bit taller. Just a teeny weeny bit taller. And if you were to ask me why don't I like that, well, check this out. Let me start with this one. This is a pouch for my mom's iPhone 14 Pro Max. Okay. That's like a bag or whatever it's called. And then let me just take that off. And then this is the pouch for my iPhone 13 Pro Max.
I couldn't find anything called.
Shut up, Siri. See that? Why is the torch sitting on Siri? What the heck? But yeah, as I was saying, as you can see, the camera, as you can see, the phone doesn't fit. This part fits, meaning it's not the difference in size. Of course, it's not the difference in size. iPhone, it's basically the same phone. But they did change this part, so you can't reuse your pouches for the iPhone 13 on the iPhone 14. Why they did this? They want you to spend more money. They're evil. Go to Samsung, man. At least they change their phones every year. Like, the phone is the exact same size, but they changed this one little area to make life more difficult. They don't want to see you happy. So yeah, that's one thing that's been bugging me that they changed. And after a year, one thing that I must also mention about this iPhone, it is battery life. See, the battery life of the iPhone 13 Pro Max, you can be using it for about 2 years, and then the battery health would be on 86%. This iPhone whatsoever, well, not specifically this one, people have different experiences with that battery life, but the iPhone 14 Pro Max specifically, it has been out for about a year now, and people have been reporting that battery life is on 86%, which is actually kind of crazy because the iPhone 13 Pro Max was out it's been out for a while, but people have been using it for roughly 2 years, and that battery life is at 86%. But we just hit a year on this phone, and already we on 86%. So things aren't looking good for the batteries here. So after a year, we can report that the pouches, nah, The battery life, the phone is a thing because the phone is awesome. It's beautiful. It's the iPhone 14. Like what else can you say? But yeah, other than that, it's all pretty good. And people, well, not people. I am a peasant, so me peoples are speculating that the reason this battery life is so dramatically low than compared to the iPhone 13 is because of its always on feature. Yeah, always on. Like the iPhone 13 didn't have that, but the iPhone 14 does have that. Where when you turn off the phone is still on but off. Like you just it locks and then it dims, but it's always still on. So if a message, I don't know why they added it. Like it's pretty stupid, to say the least. Like why you gotta have your phone always on, bro? Just like turn the thing on. You have fingers. Like most phones like this one, if you just pick it up, it turns on. Well, why you gotta always on it? Like it's dumb. So maybe that could be the reason the battery life is lower. But I turn that always on thing off, and then like when I pick it up, then it turns on. So yeah, there's that. Oh, and let's move on to an important topic: whether or not you should upgrade to the new iPhone 15 Pro Max. Honest answer, absolutely not. Like what? Why would you do that, bro? Like if you have the money to upgrade from the iPhone 14 Pro Max to the iPhone 15 Pro Max, then please do so. But if you don't, then like why would you sacrifice to upgrade from this phone to the very same phone but with titanium? Like it's just dumb. Like I'm serious, it makes no sense. Sure, the iPhone 15 has got all that titanium wada crap, but then that's not enough. And then I've actually seen a video on this very godly platform that I am in right now, where somebody is taking apart the iPhone 15 Pro Max and then checking it out and checking all the titanium they are talking about. And then they found little scraps of titanium that are this big, four little scraps of titanium that are this big. So one was going here, one was going here, one was going here, one was going here, and apparently the phone is made out of titanium. So matter what these people, but raw, but talking, yeah, still buy it. Like there wasn't much of a need to switch from the 13 to the 14. It's just that like I don't know why my momsy did it, but then she did it, and like yeah, we there now. But exactly. So then like if you add this phone, other than the battery life, which is pretty concerning, it has no bad features about it, and the phone is pretty convenient for day-to-day use. Cause even though the battery health itself is low, the battery lasts a reasonably long time before it dies. Maybe that's one of the reasons the battery. I don't know why the battery health is so low for this phone. These right here are the 4 iPhone 14s. Starting off with the iPhone 14 Pro Max. This phone is really beautiful. It looks kind of like the iPhone 13 Pro Max, the only visible difference being the dynamic island over there, which serves as a shape-shifting hub for key iPhone alerts. But then other than that, it looks like an iPhone 13. Still very beautiful though. The next phone here on this list, if I can just pop this in, the next phone on here on this list is the iPhone 14 Pro. The OLED also has a dynamic island, but it's a bit smaller than the dynamic island on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. This is also a bit smaller than the iPhone 14 Pro Max, the phone overall in general, but I like how it fits in your hand, so it gets bonus points for that, because the iPhone 14 Pro Max is like big. So this is a bit smaller. It's a Pro, so yes, it has to be a bit smaller, but then it fits in your hand and you still get those 3 cameras. So I feel like it's a win-win situation that it's smaller. And then we have the new one that they released this generation with the iPhone 14. This is the iPhone 14 Plus. If you can remember, it used to be iPhone 14 Pro, iPhone 14 Pro Max, and then iPhone 14 Mini. So they dropped the Mini and added the Plus. The Plus, as you can see, instead of it being a Mini, it is bigger than the iPhone 14 Pro. I think it is the same size. I haven't held them side by side in comparison, but it is big, but it does not have the dynamic island, which is kind of a lose for me. And then we have the normal iPhone 14. This one does not appear to be charged and it does not turn on, but it is also small, just like the iPhone
14 Pro, but your net only has 2 cameras, which is kind of, it's basically iPhone 14 Pro with 2 cameras, because they're small, they're the same size. But then yeah, these are the 4 iPhone 14s that we got. Although so far I can already tell, or I don't like the Plus, because it doesn't have a dynamic island.
So the iPhone 14 Pro Max, right, which I also have, by the way, in case any of you guys are wondering. So the iPhone 14 Pro Max, the 2 interesting features about it is one, the dynamic island, right? It is the one that introduced dynamic island to iPhone, although it was only available on the Pro Max, but I'm pretty sure now in the 15, which is the only one I don't have. I'm going to get the 16, mark my words, but I'm pretty sure in the 15, the dynamic island was available in base models as well. But iPhone 14 Pro Max was the one that introduced the dynamic island. In case you don't know what a dynamic island is, it's basically like when you're holding your iPhone, but you see when you're like holding your iPhone and then the notch there is sort of like on the screen right now, and it's alive. It moves when you get notifications. That thing shows the notification, like it's alive. It's no longer like a bezel anymore. It's no longer a part of the bezel. It's alive on the screen, and it moves around. You can touch it, you can set it to do different stuff, and that's pretty cool.
So this is the iPhone 14. As you can see, this one is black. It looks good. It's a Pro Max model. Here's what it looks like from the front. It is basically, if I put this side to side of the iPhone 14, you're not going to, the iPhone 13, you're not going to see a difference. I haven't personally held an iPhone 15, but based on what they're saying about titanium, maybe you'll see the difference. The only difference with the iPhone 15 is that you're going to notice that this, like you see this little thing here, is no longer going to be like a switch. It's going to be like, an action button. But other than that, if you put it side by side with the iPhone 13, you're not going to notice it. But let's talk about the dynamic island. See, right now I'm playing a random song. I'm gonna turn it down because of copyright, but right now I'm playing a random song. Say, I don't have to go into Apple Music to check the song that I'm playing. I can click the dynamic island and it will take me to the song and show me what's next, all that stuff. Or I would just hold it down here and then the dynamic island shows me everything. Same happens when you get a notification. If a notification was to just pop up right now, it would open like this, tell me the message, show me who it is, all that type of stuff. So there's a lot of things that you can do with the dynamic island. But yeah, that's basically the iPhone 14. So right now this is the 16 Plus that I have in my hand right now. As you can see, it has that one weird strange camera at the back, which is kind of unusual, and it also has a camera button. When I press that, it takes me to the camera where I can take pictures of my ugly friends over there, but yeah, overall this phone is it's pretty good. But my favorite phone is not the 16 Plus, but it's in fact the 16 Pro. It's so cute. That's literally all I have to say about it. It's adorable, and the 16 just looks strange. I don't know.
Okay, so now we are at the iPhone 16 Pro Max. It's powered by an A18 Pro chip built for Apple Intelligence. So basically, the reason I think that the A18 chip is a cool feature is only because of the fact that iPhone 15 Pro Max uses an A16 chip. So they jumped 2 generations for this phone. Another cool thing to mention about it is the fact that the iPhone 16 was also built for Apple Intelligence. Usually, iPhone will release a phone and then it will come with a new feature like Apple Intelligence, for example. But in this situation, this phone was literally built for the feature. The feature is not for the phone. The phone is for the feature, which is baffling, okay? So basically, what is Apple Intelligence? I'll explain that in just a second, right? When I'm done with the iPhone 16. The iPhone 16 Pro also has a larger display. It's the largest display we've ever seen in iPhone. So that's pretty cool. And it also has a new camera button, which is basically this button on the side. So if you ever find yourself let's pretend this is a phone. If you ever find yourself recording something, there will be a button here that you press, and then it takes pictures and stuff, and if you double click to record, to take a picture, all that stuff. So it also has a new camera button, which I find to be very cool. And yeah, that's basically what the iPhone 16 introduces. Now, as promised, let me tell you about Apple Intelligence. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, the iPhone 15 also introduced, no, it didn't introduce, but the iPhone 15 stopped using lightning cable, which is basically what the charging cable that Apple has been using since forever, and now uses USB-C. So yeah. So Apple Intelligence is basically an upgraded Siri, right? So basically, Apple Intelligence is when your phone has become a whole AI system, like a meta AI thing, where you can actually talk to Siri. And like, you see how if you were talking to Siri and you wanted to say something, like for example, hey Siri, what time is it? Oh no, I meant what day it is. Siri is gonna be confused because you ask what time it is, and then you rephrase and you said, oh man, what day it is. So in the previous generations of iPhone, Siri would not know how to answer you and would say, can you please repeat that? But like now, Siri is more common to human speech and human speech mistakes. So if you were to say, hey Siri, what time is it? Oh no, sorry, what day is it? It will tell you what day it was and would ask if you would still like to know the time, even though it answered your original question of what day it is. So that's pretty cool. And also, instead of Siri being a little ball on the phone, it's gonna be like all around the phone, like surrounding the bezels, and it's gonna look pretty cool. And another example of what Apple Intelligence can do, right? So say you schedule a meeting on your phone for tomorrow at 10 o'clock, you have to meet a client, right? Siri or Apple Intelligence, let me put it like that, is always on, it's always tracking, it's always checking. And say there's traffic along the route that you normally take. Oh, by the way, it memorizes the route that you normally take to work, because like it's always knowing what you're doing. So like if there's traffic around the route that you normally take, Apple Intelligence can what can it do? Oh, let me see. It can check the traffic conditions, adjust your wake up alarm if necessary, and even suggest the best time to leave based on your preferred mode of transport. So if it knows that your preferred mode of transport is like your car, right? And you are sleeping, you're supposed to wake up at 6 to go to the meeting at 7. I changed the time, I know. You're supposed to wake up at 6 to go to the meeting at 7, but there is traffic. It checks the traffic conditions. The phone could wake you up at 5. Like it could override the set alarm of 6 o'clock and wake you up at 5 o'clock and tell you, oh, sorry, we woke you up. But there is traffic around the time that you want to take. So we recommend you wake up now and you go. Apple Intelligence is brilliant, and I just cannot wait for it. But yeah, other than that, that was the interesting features